This episode of Sportsman's News Television is brought to you by the Sportsman's News Pro Membership Sweepstakes, where everyone hunts and fishes like the pros. Ford Trucks, Sitka Gear, Browning, Outdoor Edge Knives, Alps Outdoors, and Sportsman's Warehouse.
On this episode of Sportsman's News Television, we're headed to Colorado's famous Uncompahgre Plateau. That's Unit 61. It's one of Colorado's few limited entry units for elk, and as a non-resident, you could wait nearly 20 plus years to be able to draw this. As a resident, you could be about half of that. Good friend and taxidermist Buddy Adamic from Canyon City, Colorado is obviously a resident, and he had called me to asking me about where do I burn my 14 bonus points. And knowing JT Robbins and his operations with All Out Outfitting and Guiding and all the stuff that they do in Unit 61, what he's shown me with what they've seen for big bulls as well as harvesting big bulls, I knew it was a great opportunity for him to burn those points. And knowing that JT can get this landowner voucher each and every year for that late season hunt gives us a great opportunity for us to purchase it for the Pro Membership Sweepstakes. So I was all in to go hang out with Buddy, JT and his team, and see what we got done for the next 5 days. Stick around, this exciting show.
We're going to kind of split up right here. Scott's got us a bowl located up on this mesa. It's a big flat top mesa, so when you guys go in, you're pretty much going in blind. It's kind of a sensitive area where we got a small window of opportunity to really make something happen. But he's a good bull. It ought to be a good morning.
So we're going to go up, do this roll chop up here. We got a big bull spotted. It's about a quarter mile from here. We're going to go put the smack down on him. How many years you wait to draw this tag?
Been in it for 14. It took 14 points, and happy to be here.
Knowing that this is one of Colorado's few premium elk units, one might expect there to be a big bull around every tree. This is the case with most hunters who wait years to draw a tag. Hardcore professionals like JT Robbins and his team have hunted this unit year after year while you're building points. They have successfully harvested some of the biggest bulls each and every year. Don't forget, this is public land, which can make for a very challenging hunt.
There's one right up.
We're in the ball game.
We're in the ball game. All right, let's go get him done.
You can scout specific bulls, transition zones, bedding areas, and know the exact places to put your clients for success, but you never know when another hunter will disrupt your plans.
I think we got about 6 bulls spotted, 3 shooters. There is hunters up above. So we're just gonna go wing it. We'll go hunt it. I guess 6 bulls are here.
Let's do this. Let's go kill a ball.
About 300 to 400 yards. So we need to get in our snake mode.
JT had placed spotters miles away and were going to guide us into a big herd of bulls on this opening morning. After successfully getting us into the target area without spooking the herd, we waited for instructions from our spotters. Turns out, all of our preparation was for naught.
Something busted those bulls. I don't think it was us. I think it's those.
As a group of hunters busted the herd out of the area, the first morning hunt was a bust, and the afternoon wasn't much better, but that's why hunts aren't only one day. Our second morning of the hunt was all-out observation. We weren't sure if the other hunters from the day before had totally blown our herd of bulls out of the country, or if they would still be in the general area. JT had targeted this group because he knew there was 2 shooter bulls in it, so it was going to be worth the time to give up a morning just trying to locate them again. As the darkness gave way to sunlight, We spotted our big group again and very close to the same spot.
What we wanted to do is today see if they're doing the same thing up here on a lookout knob. Scott's one of his top guides here, so he said let's go out here and take a look. Right back in the same position. We'll probably put these guys to bed. Seems to be like a little better play in the morning, so may not get it done on that bull, but that bull's big. We've got the little phone scope action out here, see if we can get a little bit of footage of this guy. We're about 3 miles from these guys right now, and probably 10 bulls right here.
He needs a dirt nap.
I agree with that 100%.
However, getting to them for a shot would take hours and was not a good play. The ridge behind these bulls at about 5 miles held another bachelor herd of 18 that drifted into the timber as the sun rose. It had some big frame bulls that were worth a better look, so we spent the rest of the day moving into that location. We settled on the bluffs for an evening opportunity. We started picking up bulls in the oak brush as the sun started to set. A big mature 6-point stood up with about 15 minutes of daylight. He was a shooter for sure, but we were losing light fast, and it would have taken more than an hour to get into shooting position. If we left him undisturbed, he would likely be there tomorrow afternoon if our morning plan didn't work on the other herd.
All right, so we're gonna go up this ridge and cut these bulls off as they come down their bedding.
Now that we knew the herd's routine, we headed out early the next morning. With a different wind, we came from another direction, which definitely wouldn't spook the elk. Creeping through the oak brush was difficult, but we knew that the elk would be headed our way and we'd have a clear shot if our shooters were there. As the sun crested over the mountains, neither us nor our spotter could see any elk. To nobody's surprise, another hunter had busted the herd and ruined our plans once again. This is part of the challenge of hunting public land. All was not lost, however, as our spotter saw the big bull from the night before and we would make a play for him in that afternoon.
We got a little patch of oak brush.
The added pressure on our target bulls had driven them into hiding, and the full moon wasn't helping. The last day of our hunt, Skylar, our dedicated and hard-charging spotter, left well before daylight to hike to one of the best lookout spots in the area. It didn't take long on our last morning for him to turn up a big group of bulls.
So we're last day of the hunt here in Colorado, and we've passed this big bull. He's a big mature bull, just waiting for a break, and it just hasn't happened. So, part of hunting, but we've been in the game every day. And these guys have got this bull spotted again. It's like
He's asking for it.
Yeah, he's asking for it. So
I'm liking it. I think it's a good situation. We got a lot of time. We got a lot of cover between us and them. We've got some vantage points where we can gain some elevation. It's probably the best setup we've had all week, or close to it anyway. So a little bit of luck. It may just work out.
We didn't know if it was the big group of bulls from the first day, but there was definitely a shooter or two in the group. He guided us to a jumping off spot to pursue the herd, and when we got out of the truck, JT spotted the herd on the opposite ridge. We didn't know if they knew we were there or if they were just moving out, but it was definitely game time. We had to move fast as the bulls were looking to crest the ridge and be out of sight. After looking at them through the spotter, it was obvious that these were the same bulls that had been teasing us the entire trip. Buddy got settled into a solid shooting position, and I was rattling off yardage to adjust his turret.
Comes out right where he's at. It's 800.
In the excitement of everything, Buddy hadn't heard my last yardage adjustment, and his shot went just low. Panic set in as he jacked in another shell and tried to get on target.
oh, you shot the broken bull.
The target he acquired the second time around was a big mature bull, and I was lucky enough to have him in the frame. He wasn't the bull he had missed with the first shot, but the bull he had passed days before due to his broken main beam.
Yeah, buddy. That's a ways across there. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Matt. That's awesome.
That's the big bull we were chasing up over on the ridge.
He's a dead bull and dead. Over.
Thank you, sir.
Congrats. Yeah.
And thank you to Scott for walking all the way across there. And everybody else, everybody here at All Out Guiding and Outfitting. It's done a wonderful job.
Matter is, you freaking crushed an elk at 800 yards.
It's unbelievable. Couldn't have done it without the X-Bolt. Good shooting gun, great caliber, and recommended by Mike. Very happy with everything. JT and his crew has done an awesome job. By far, the farthest shot I've ever made on an animal. Worked out well. Now all we have to do is get him off that hill.
It would take us a couple of hours to cross this deep canyon and recover Buddy's bull.
That's a big boy. That's a real big boy. Broken third on the right. You think he was a fighter?
I know this bull is a fighter.
Unit 61 in Colorado is home to some monster bulls, and Buddy went home with a trophy of a lifetime. It surpasses his biggest bull ever by a bunch and was definitely worth all those points. We're giving away this late season hunt, which will include landowner voucher, which eliminates the need to wait 20 years for a tag. We will also be staying at the 5-star Gateway Resort, and you will have JT Robbins and his team on your side. So make sure you sign up before the next pro membership sweepstakes drawing. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Sportsman's News Television. We'll see you next time.
This episode of Sportsman's News Television is brought to you by the Sportsman's News Pro Membership Sweepstakes, where everyone hunts and fishes like the pros. Ford Trucks, Sitka Gear, Browning, Outdoor Edge Knives, Alps Outdoors, and Sportsman's Warehouse.